get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Down. It's Floyd. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll keep it on the ground. Floyd. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Floyd. So he stopped for no gain. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to float this one deep right side. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. On 3rd down, it's Floyd. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Marino. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Two 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 54 yards on the ground for him so far. 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Floyd. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Marino sets up. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Able to find Floyd. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Marino to throw on 3rd. Flush to his right. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie things at 17 all. So we're back to even after the short field goal. CD, you like the decision to kick it there?
Well, I'm glad you asked me if I like it and didn't ask me if I love it, because I'm not even sure I like it, but I do get it. First challenge on this drive, tied the game. They did that, but now they've got to put a challenge to their offense and say, can't settle for 3 anymore, guys. We got to get the ball in the end zone from here on out.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Floyd. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 2nd down now, it's Floyd, and he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that 3rd down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Here's 2nd and a yard. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
Steps away. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
A gain of 16 yards. 1st down, Steelers.
They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Back to throw again. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on 3rd down. Now they try the right side here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And to give this time to the tailback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now a handoff looking right. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now a handoff here to his running back.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. And each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So now the Eagles down 24-17. 2:14 to play. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Marino on 1st down. He's got Floyd out left. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. From the 30 on 2nd down, Marino. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing here, Marino. Throw left side complete. That's Yates. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Marino. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Marino to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Floyd. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Now it's Marino. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
The kicker on 5-point
a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Separating these two sides, 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Right back to him on 1st down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. And the Steelers have won the game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know, this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on.